that one quick little dust. When people say to me, your home is so clean, how do you have anything left to clean? Just remember this vision of this cloth with a dead spider. I personally didn't think it looked that dirty, but that water is saying otherwise. I should absolutely be starting at the top and working my way down. Practice what you preach, Lou. Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and as you will have seen from the title of this video, we are tackling my kitchen today. I don't know really what's got into me. There's something in this summer air that is making me just want to clean the living daylights out of my house and just get everything out of it. Anything that hasn't got a purpose or hasn't got a home is going. So I thought we could have a good old clean and declutter of my kitchen today. Now I'm aware my kitchen doesn't look horrendously dirty because I do surface clean it quite regularly, but there are things that I need to do, like cleaning the hob, cleaning the extractor, cleaning the backs of the cupboards, things like that I don't do all that often, which would really benefit from being done. Another thing I really want to do, which is kind of spurred on this clean, is tackle behind that bench in the kitchen. Now I've said it 1,000 times before and I know it's sounding boring, but this is a new build home. It doesn't have enough storage, period. There's no other way around it. We've tried to be really savvy with how we store things. We've tried to be really efficient. We've got a fully insulated shed so that we can actually use that properly as a storage space outside and things won't go like moldy or funny out there. But we're still struggling and there is only 2 of us. So I think I just need to be a little bit more ruthless. Let me show you what's going on down there. It's supposed to be a surplus kind of overspill for things that just don't fit in the cupboards, but it's turned into fabric conditioner, laundry detergent, alcohol, which probably shouldn't really be there, glasses. I can see my facial steamer, for goodness sakes. I mean, what is that doing behind the back of the sofa? But let me show you what we're dealing with today. Okay, so this is our little corner unit that we have in the kitchen. It's from Furniture Village. I'll leave it linked down below. They don't have this exact model anymore with this exact sort of detailing on the chair, but they have had a kind of new model every year. So not the exact one, but I'll leave it linked down below because I know a lot of you have asked about this little unit in the past. But what we're tackling is here. I mean, how untidy does that look? Like, for a start, that's just laundry stuff that hasn't got another home. But down the back here, it will also be rather dusty and dirty, I'm sure, but I've got wine, champagne, gin, soft drinks, a cleaning bucket, a cocktail making kit, and then under here is supposed to be our alcohol storage, which as you can see is full. I've got a vegetable chopper, I've got my face steamer, and then around here I've got some champagne glasses, a popcorn maker, a juicer, an air fryer, and a baking box. Oh, and some cake storage tubs. I mean, it sounds chaotic and we need to sort it. I just don't know what's there. We certainly don't need all of it. So I think I'm gonna start this kitchen clean and declutter by tackling that little corner there. Let's start by just getting everything pulled out and then we can have proper access to what's behind there. The best bit is we do have a drinks fridge in the office. So there is another space for all of those bottles. Well, not all of them, but the vast majority of those bottles and things to live. So we definitely just need to get rid of some as well. Whoops. Right, that's not gonna work. So let's start by just getting all of this off the floor and then we can at least work through what we've got, what we want to keep, and this needs a good old clean back here as well. So this, in terms of alcohol, is what we are left with. I've taken out quite a few bottles and restacked and restocked our drinks fridge outside. But this is what is left that I don't want to get rid of, and we just need to find a home for somewhere in this kitchen. Actually, these mixers I can probably fit in the drinks fridge, so I'll take those out. Other than that, the only other thing that was behind there was the laundry stuff. Now this, once upon a time, was in this cupboard under the sink, but that is now rammed full of other cleaning products. This is an empty bottle, but the idea is that you put your big bottle of minimal into the little bottle, so I just need to decant that. And then I can probably store the big bottle under the stairs because I'm not going to need it all that often. But other than that, I do need access to all of this. But back here, we are looking dusty, dusty and crusty. So this needs a good old clean behind here. I'm actually just going to push these boxes out and deal with those as well. And down here is a little spider family, which I'm a little bit ashamed to be showing you, but there's a big old spider there and he's done a good old amount of poos up the wall. So, there's cobwebs and all sorts. So we just need to tackle all of that as well. baking box, which I've just been through. To be honest, I sorted through this about 2-3 months ago. So I've just sort of double checked the dates and got rid of anything that actually, on the second thought, I really don't need. So that is all up to date. And I've actually just managed to squeeze the popcorn maker in down the end, so that's fine. These boxes are kind of annoying to have to store, but they're really handy, like if I have to transport a cake or something like that, if I've made it for someone. And I did think that, oh, I might be able to just pop the box of champagne glasses in there, but it's fortunately they're slightly too big. So anyway, that is going to stay as it is. Those are wiped down as well. But I am going to tackle the floor, the dust, the radiator, the corners behind the sofa so that we can then get all this put back in place. I think the angles could potentially be a bit tricky here because I'm crammed in behind the back of the sofa, but I'm just going to start by giving everything a surface dust over. I should absolutely be starting at the top and working my way down. Practice what you preach, Lou. Look at what I've just picked up, just from that one quick little dust. Told you this was long overdue. Told you this was long overdue. Right, next up, you would have just seen me make up a bucket of warm water with the Pink Stuff multi-purpose solution. And you just need a dash of that stuff, and it's basically just, well, multi-purpose cleaner. You can use it on pretty much anything, which is great. I've just put a selection of 2 different cloths in here. This one is from, I think it's from the Pink Stuff, or it could be Dishmatic. One of the two, I actually can't remember, but it's one of those that's quite abrasive. So I thought for any like spider poo on the floor, that would be great. But I have also just put in a normal little cloth in there as well. And I'm actually gonna start by just wiping over the radiators. Yes, I have dusted them, but there is still a little bit of dust and bits and bobs on there. So we'll just give those a good wipe over to start with. Another product I really like to use when wiping over the radiators, particularly in the winter, because obviously we're not using our radiators at this time of year. But if you want a little hack to make your home smell really, really nice, use a little bit of diluted Zoflora on a cloth and then wipe it over your radiators, because the second you then turn your radiators on, your whole room smells absolutely lovely. So I use Zoflora, or you could use the Astonish disinfectant as well. Anything that smells really, really good just helps to make your room smell lovely in the winter. And then for the first scrub of the floor and skirting boards, I'm actually going to swap over to my slightly more abrasive sponge, just to give everything a good going over. And then I will probably go back over it with the other sponge just to get off any loose debris. The skirting boards, you can often just give them a little dust over, but it doesn't actually get all the dust off. With skirting boards, it does kind of cake itself on. So giving your skirting boards a good scrub every now and then is definitely a job worth doing. Can you guys see that? I've got a little scuff on the floor where I've pulled out the chair, but where this is just slightly abrasive, just the multi-purpose cleaner and the water with this slightly abrasive cloth has brought that straight out. And that is what I've picked up just from doing this one little section, which has already been dusted, remember, so shouldn't be as dirty as that. But now I've just wrung out my cloth and I'm just going to go back over everything just to make sure I've got up any dust and any debris. I've just spotted I've missed a couple of bits on the radiators, that's no good. I was trying to find a way to set up the tripod to be able to show you what I was doing here, but there was honestly no solution when I was working in this kind of really cramped place. So I've got all the spider poo and bits off the tiles and the skirting board, as you can see, but I just thought I would show you these little bits on the wall. So normally I would use a magic eraser, but because I've got this cloth to hand, I'm gonna put it in the water and pick a clean side. So I'm gonna use that bit there, and then, if I can show you this, and then just gently kind of scrub those little bits off and they will eventually come off. There we go. Sorry, you can probably hear me like panting in the background because my face is so close to the camera. That's probably really off-putting for you all. When people say to me, your home is so clean, how do you have anything left to clean? Just remember this vision of this cloth with a dead spider and God knows what else packed onto it. So what I'm now going to do is just make up a bowl to wash the floor. I'm going to give, although I've given it a good scrub behind there, I'm actually just going to use a mop and a mop bucket just to give it another quick going over. I also use the mop head just to wipe over the legs of the chairs because they get quite dusty. Then I'm going to give the bottles that need to go back there another good dust off. Put that dust, hair, a spider's leg, oh my god, could you imagine, in my mouth? I don't know what that is. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna give all those a dust off, put those back, and then I'm gonna move on to cleaning the dining chair because that's now had all the dusty stuff on it, and you know. back here it still looks a little bit chaotic, but it's clean. I know exactly what's there, and we've had a good old declutter. So I've got rid of any drinks that just had dregs in them and we didn't need to keep. And now all my laundry bits are tucked out the way, which just means, okay, you can see a tiny little bit, but it's not quite so chaotic just there in the corner. Under here, this is our box of Prosecco. I do know this looks excessive, by the way, but we like to entertain, so it's definitely worth us keeping that. Baking boxes under there. The champagne boxes are there. I know it seems a bit weird to have my facial steamer under our kitchen table, but I steam my face in the kitchen, so it just makes sense to have it there. And then the popcorn maker, as I mentioned earlier, is in the baking box, which just leaves my juicer and the air fryer. So that is all back, that is all clean, but something that is not clean is this little bench. So let's tackle that next. So what else would I be using to clean my chair other than my Aquajet spot washer from Tower? I put on my Instagram stories the other day because I saw it was actually had 20% off on Amazon, which made it a really good deal. So I'll have another look again, but I think I've mentioned before, I often put things that I spot that have gone on offer on my Instagram stories. If you're not following me on Instagram and you want to pick up any of these things when I spot they are reduced, then give me a little follow over there. So what I'm going to do is just using the upholstery cleaner from the Pink Stuff. I'm just going to target any bits which are sort of stained on to start with, just to give it a little helping hand. You don't really need to do this. The spot washer is very good, but to be honest, that's all I've got on there. And in the clean water chamber, I've obviously just got clean water, but I have also, oh, that's the wrong way around, that's a bad one. In the clean water chamber, I have obviously just got clean water, but I did actually just give it a couple of spritzes of the Pink Stuff cleaner because I feel like it won't cause any harm, but you absolutely can use this with just normal water. So I'm gonna do this with music in the background for you guys because it's loud and that's probably gonna be quite annoying for you. So, all cleaned, and this will take probably on a day like this because it is boiling. I don't know why I'm wearing jeans to be doing this, but on a day like this, it will probably take around 2 to 3 hours to dry. Once I finish filming, I'll fling open the windows and it will dry quite quickly. But this is what I collected. Look at that! I mean, I personally didn't think it looked that dirty, but that water is saying otherwise. So let's get that tip down the toilet, and then I'm gonna give the floors another little mop before putting the table back. Whilst I'm just waiting for the floor to dry so that I can put the table back, I'm just gonna also wipe over the base of the table with the mop because again, this gets a little bit dusty, this base, and this is a really easy way of cleaning that. This is just the minimal antibacterial surface cleaner. These chairs look so dark now that they're drying out. They are much lighter than this, so once they dry, they will be back to their usual colour. So, hob cleaning. I'm just going to start by removing the racks and the little discs, and I'm going to clean those separately in the sink. In terms of what I like to use for the hob, it is, of course, the Cif cream cleaner. This stuff is so good. You really don't need much. That will be plenty. And then for the backsplash, because, again, you can't really see it too much, but it just gets a little bit of a film on it after we've been cooking. Me, absolutely not Connor. I just use the antibacterial spray, again, just across the back. And what I'll actually do is, I've just got my Dishmatic and I've just kind of activated it under the warm tap. I'm just going to rub this in. This won't take that long to do. I really like using a Dishmatic for things like this. I just feel like, to be honest, it doesn't keep your hands as dirty and you can really kind of get in there and give it a good scrub. So I'm just going to give that a good scrub first. And then with the remains of the Cif cream cleaner and the antibacterial spray that I've already sprayed on the backsplash, I'm just going to give that a good wipe down, and I'm actually going to leave all that product just to do its thing for 2 or 3 minutes whilst I tackle the little hob discs and the racks. So again, I'm just going to use the remains of what's left on my Dishmatic, which is a combination of antibacterial and Cif at this point, just to rinse off these discs. And then I'm going to use exactly the same just to go over the racks. This makes it honestly so quick and easy. And if you do it over the sink, you can literally just use your tap head just to rinse it off. And then what I will do is put all this on the drainer to dry whilst I am finishing off taking the product off the hob. It's all about efficiency around here. If something can be drying, if something can be drying or doing its thing whilst I'm cleaning something else and I'm potentially saving a minute or two, then that is a job well done to me. So in this bucket, I've just half filled it with warm water, and I'm going to use some Fabulosa disinfectant just to go around the rest of the backsplashes, the windowsill, the cupboards, under the cupboards, because this stuff smells really good. That was actually probably a bit too much. And then just grab another cloth. Let's use that one. Oh, it smells so good. That's the fresh linen scent. Starting to feel nice and fresh in here. Right, extractor. I probably should have taken this down before I cleaned the hob, so gently. Right, this is my best hack for cleaning the extractor because that is greasy. Even if it doesn't look it, that's not what I need the white vinegar. Even if it doesn't look it, touch your extractor fan because it probably is a little bit greasy. I'm going to be using white vinegar for it. This is the one from Minimal with the lemon scent. You guys know I love this one because it just doesn't smell completely like a chip shop. So what I'm going to do is just douse that. It does need quite a lot. White vinegar is really good at cutting through grease. So I'm just going to leave that to do its thing for about 2 or 3 minutes whilst I just wipe down the extractor hood with the white vinegar as well. You're at a funny little angle there, so hopefully that's okay. But what I just do with this is using a microfiber cloth, just spritz a little bit of white vinegar on the cloth, and that way it just stops it ending up everywhere. And then I just use that to wipe down any of the shiny surfaces because this works really well because, as I said, white vinegar cuts through grease really well, but also white vinegar works really well at buffing the shine into anything. So this is like a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of situation, which we know we like efficiency around here. Oh, so shiny, that's so satisfying. To anyone that's followed me for a little while, I'm so sorry that I'm about to talk about this again, but for anyone that is new here, I'm just going to very quickly run you through how I keep my high gloss cabinets looking shiny, because after cleaning them the way I did, they will often show just little smeary marks. It's a window cleaner. I specifically like using the Pink Stuff window cleaning spray along with their microfiber handle. It all comes as part of a kit. I think you can get it at the Range and possibly Dunelm in the UK. Dunelm is hit and miss, but the Range I know is definitely, you can get that there. And then I just go back over, now that my cupboards are completely clean, and just get all the smears out with a window and glass cleaning kit. So I wait for my cupboards to dry, and then this is honestly the quickest way of getting your cupboards smear free. I know you're technically cleaning the same thing twice, but the cleans are doing different things, you know? So whilst I'm just giving my extractor another couple of minutes just to get the grease out with the white vinegar, I'm just going to go around all my cupboards and get rid of all the smears. So now that this is, yeah, perfect. Easiest way, but it's cut through all the grease. So I'm just going to give it a quick rinse off, and then I'll actually put this outside for the rest of the day just to dry. That is definitely the easiest way. I just leave it outside to drip dry, bring it in just before I cook dinner, and that is the easiest way to clean your extractor filter. smelling clean and slightly more organised than it was this time 2 or 3 hours ago. I can't go in any further because the floors are a bit wet and obviously I don't want to leave any foot marks on the floor. The only things I still need to do are just put the cushions and the throws back on this little corner unit when that is dry, and obviously just add the extractor unit back in when that is dry. But apart from that, we are done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm actually just wondering which room I should tackle next. I feel like it should be our bedroom. I feel like that's due another good old deep clean. So I'll probably crack on with that at some point this week. And I think I'm also gonna film a what I eat in a day, because I saw a couple of people wanted to see that, which is amazing because I love filming those kinds of videos. So I think I might film one of those as well this week, but who knows? Let's just go with the flow. But thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye.